Man, it's been 5 years since Time of My Life. It's hard to believe we're going on 5 years. Tell me a little bit about what it was like going back in the studio and making an album after, when it had been so long since the last one.
Well, it was a lot of fun.
Awesome.
A lot of fun, a lot of hard work. I'd say just kind of sum it up. It was, it was scary because we hadn't done it in a while.
Mm-hmm.
We had new people, we had new guys in the band that had never written or, written for a record before they had, but just not on that level. And, so that was, hold on one second.
Sure.
All right. Sorry about that. Yeah. We had new guys and it was weird just kind of, walking into a room with them, knowing you're getting ready to write a record that all these people are going to hear, and you're adding two new people to your team that are unproven. That's a scary situation, man. Because songwriters, when they get around other songwriters, they want the guys that have written a few songs,
Right.
And these guys hadn't really, and so we didn't know what they were going to bring to the table. But dude, we're really, really, really surprised and excited, and it worked out great. Chet and Justin brought a lot to this record. They both performed well, and in the studio. It was really a great experience all the way around.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that, especially new guys, man, especially Justin stepping into the role of bass with everything that had gone on with that position. I feel like Justin did a great job, especially writing for this record and everything. I mean, this is definitely a Three Doors Down record. You'd been playing with Justin for a little bit before going in to write the record. Did that help when it went in? Because you were already somewhat familiar with him.
Yeah, well, that was the purpose behind all that touring, was to get ready to write. Look, at the end of the day, we knew that Todd wasn't going to come back for a while or whatever. We knew that chapter of the band was finished, and we needed to move on, and we needed to do it permanently. And the only way to really do that is to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
So with Justin, we were just like, well, this is our guy, so he's going to be a band. He's going to be in this thing with us. We might as well let him, fully submerge himself in it. And so we took him out on the road for 2 years and just kind of threw him to the dogs, man. Because he's a guitar player in another band, and hadn't really ever played. Man, he hadn't played on this level ever. He'd done a few shows opening for other bands, but to go out and do 10, 15,000 people, he had never done that. And his first show was in Moscow, Russia.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And his first show was Moscow, Russia.
Damn.
And so he had to get on an airplane and fly to Russia, and then to play his first show with us. And it was one of those things where when we decided to hire Justin, I called him and I was like, do you have a bass? And he was like, no, I'm not a bass player. He's a guitar player. And I was like, well, can you get one? So he borrowed a bass from his friend and showed up over here and basically played through 2 or 3 songs with us. And we were like, all right, you're the guy.
Nice.
So. Yeah.
Nice. Man, you guys recorded, I know, Time of My Life. I think you guys recorded that in a couple different cities. But with this record, you guys really just recorded in Nashville for the most part. Did that affect anything as far as the final product and getting things done and affect the way everything turned out, or did it not play as a big a role as you might think?
No, I mean, Nashville's Music City, so it's like anything and everything music is here. We were able to rent gear. We recorded it at my studio in Hendersonville,
Nice.
And we record friends and stuff like that in here. We have bands come in all the time that we do records for here, but we don't really charge. It's just kind of like a project room that we just have fun playing in, but it sounds great. And so when Matt, our producer, saw this place, he was like, well, dude, why would we go downtown and spend all that money to record downtown? We can do it in your room. The place, your microphones, your gear. Why don't we do it? So we rented a couple key pieces of gear for vocals and, went for it. And we did it all here. Nice. And we did it, really cheap and really nice. And basically we recorded this record 2 miles from my house.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah, everybody drove to work every day.
That's awesome, man. And I feel like feel like a lot of the material on this record, I mean, is a little bit. It's a lot. It's fast. It's heavy. I feel like this is a statement album for Three Doors Down in a lot of ways. I mean, this is, you're here to kick. You're basically here to kick our ass with this record, and I feel that's exactly what you did. What did you guys want to accomplish musically with this record?
Well, I think what I think our main goal was we had several, but I think our main goal was just to not alienate the fans that we had. Which when you change, you're going to alienate some of them. You're going to lose a few of them. But that's part of it. And then we wanted to gain fans that weren't necessarily Three Doors Down fans, that had never really given us a chance, and they listened to that one song about Superman or that Here Without You thing, and those people are out there, and you meet them every day. And so we wanted to go after those people.
Yeah.
And then, you had to go after the people that have been listening to rock radio for the last 5 years, and really, those are the people that are still listening to rock radio, and that's where you want to live, and so we had to find those people too. So had to go a little bit of rock and roll this time.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people that have only heard the singles, or they've only heard maybe Here Without You, or songs like that, like you said, that a lot of people just for some reason feel like Three Doors Down is like a ballad band in a lot of ways, which is couldn't be further from the truth. But I feel like when they listen to this record, they're in for a rude awakening. This is a rock record. I mean, it stands right up there with everything else, and it's awesome. I love it. It's just awesome. So, I mean, you guys played some of the festivals last year, especially Louder Than Life last year. I was at that one, and I'd always wanted to see Three Doors Down, and I finally got to see you guys there. I mean, playing a festival like Louder Than Life, and the show's over in Russia, I mean, how does that affect getting ready to release this record? With Louder Than Life, had you guys already finished everything up, or are you still finishing up? And did festivals like that affect the record at all?
No, Louder Than Life, we were already done with the recording process. It was in the mix phase when we were doing those records. And if you remember, we played some of these songs. Yeah. At that festival, which is a typical band no. People don't like they don't want to play their new music before the record comes out. What's that?
People want to hear the hits,
Well, they want to hear the hits, but then, people don't want, a lot of bands don't want people putting it on the internet and blah, blah, blah.
Oh, good point. True.
Yeah, but we're like, screw it, man. Look, technology's there. It's what it's going to. You got to embrace it. You can't run from it. So we played from the day we wrote these songs. We started playing them live, and they're all over the internet live before the record even comes out, and that's the way it is. But that's part of it. You know what I mean? So when we did the Louder Than Life record, Louder Than Life festival, we had already been affected. You know what I mean? Like everything had already kind of come to fruition. It was done. It was. It was just fun. That whole day was fun from start to finish.
Yeah, it's an awesome festival. I love it. It's only been around for 2 years, and I feel like it's one of the best festivals that we have. It blends.
It's a good one, man.
It blends the past and the present, and but you talked about the technology. I mean, when you guys started, what was it? I think around 98, 99, somewhere around there, when the first single, when Kryptonite hit, technology was nowhere near what it is now. And over the course of your guys' career, we've seen a lot of things pop up. And do you feel like it's better to embrace the technology changes, or how do you guys feel about that when it comes to like people recording and putting it on YouTube, or the file sharing and all that crazy stuff?
Well, this is the way I feel about it. Now, look, the file sharing, I got an issue with that. I got an issue with theft of art, and that's what file sharing is. When people go to the internet and they download your songs for free and they take it home and no one gets paid, because, look, it's expensive to record music and it takes a long time. And a lot of people went to the poorhouse when that file sharing stuff started. And a lot of bands that you would have known and loved don't exist today because of file sharing, pure and simple. There's a lot of great musicians out there that would have wrote hit songs and would have had them played and would have been able to survive had file sharing not come around. But that's it. It is what it is. You have to go with it. You can't stop it. It's bigger than all of us. And you just gotta kind of throw it against the wall and see if it sticks. And, we were blessed that we sold some records early on that we were able to able to weather the storm, if you will.
True. Yeah, I mean,
You know,
it's unfortunate to see it all happening, but I mean, there's a lot of tools out there that you can kind of combat it in a lot of ways now too. But I
well,
mean,
you can just embrace social media and just take it for what it is. If people like you, they're going to talk about you. They're going to talk about you on the internet because that's where they're at right now, talking about things
exactly.
on the internet. So you look at the file sharing is what it is, and it is there. It's there. It's not going anywhere. But at the other hand, man, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, people are sharing your videos that they're taking of you, and other people are appreciating it, and you're getting exposure that you wouldn't have gotten 10 years ago.
Exactly.
You know what I
There's
mean?
a lot of positives to go with it too. But I
there
mean,
certainly is.
I feel like touching on all of that, I feel like the bread and butter of a lot of the income now comes from touring. You have to tour more.
That's everything.
You have to tour more than you had to in the past. And speaking of that, I mean, with the record coming out in about a week and a half, 2 weeks now, are there some good tour plans in place for this record?
Yeah, we're doing this festival run this year, so we'll be at, I don't know about Louder Than Life yet, but we're doing Rocklahoma, and we're doing Welcome to Rockville and Carolina Rebellion. We're doing those. And we're doing a couple things with Kid Rock, I think, which is going to be cool, a backyard thing. I don't remember the name of it, but that's going to be fun, man. Love that guy.
Nice.
And I think we're gonna do kind of a soft run coming up. If people check our website, there's some dates up, and we're adding more now over the summer. We're gonna do some more festivals and some other shows, some one-offs, and some kind of weekend warrior stuff, just to get ready for the big fall rollout. We're going to roll the whole tour out in the fall. It's really hard for when our record is coming out in March to put a summer tour together all the time, because everyone's already touring. It's hard to find someone to go with, and blah, 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 and all these different things happen. So
definitely. But man, that's going to be awesome. And hopefully you guys hit the Indianapolis, Fort Wayne area, somewhere around here, because I'd love to get out and see you guys live again. Obviously, with festivals, the Skin Dance set, I'd love to see the full set list. Gotta see it.
Well, obviously, if you get out to see us, you'll see as much as you can of it. If it's a festival, it may not be the whole thing, but we do what we can.